Hello, my name is Jesse Marshall, and I'm going to be talking about the graduate program offered for a specialization in mental health counseling. So the type of careers that a person with a specialization in mental health counseling would enter would be something like a licensed mental health counselor associate. They'd generally be working towards becoming a licensed mental health counselor. They can work anywhere from a prison to a private practice to a mental hospital. So some of the graduate programs that offer this specialization would be Central Washington University. For instance, they offer the specialization in mental health counseling at the Ellensburg campus. Dr. Elizabeth Haviland is the program director there. Another graduate program would be over at Antioch. There's a Seattle campus, and it's Dr. Lin Tien who is the program director there. They offer mental health counseling as well, and they offer a specialization in clinical mental health counseling. Another one would be Seattle Pacific University. That's another Seattle campus with Dr. Lynette Bicos as the associate dean, offering that program. Some of the typical courses that you would find in the curriculum for these specializations would be group counseling, human development, multicultural perspectives. Those will kind of help you in your career and help you understand other people's viewpoints. They also help you in career development and counseling to help you get into the career that you want. They also help you with professional and ethical issues that you may find in becoming a mental health counselor. They also have the internship, which is a big part of any KCREP accredited mental health counseling program. So some of the research and service learning opportunities in this would be, like I just mentioned, the internship. This is included in the curriculum and is a big part of the ending segment of your program in mental health counseling. Another one that they offer is a practicum. And this is a supervised counseling. It's generally seen as a video recorded, very supervised way of practicing actual counseling on, say, your peers or people who just can't afford to go to a licensed mental health counselor. This allows them to talk about their issues and allows you some practice in some real-world applications. Some courses that you might want to take while you're in a bachelor's or undergraduate program before taking this graduate studies program would be statistics. Now, for the bachelor's program, it requires you to take Intro to Statistics, but for the 45 credit major, it does not require you to take Intermediate, despite Intermediate being required for the master's program. Another couple of courses you would want to take would be Abnormal Psychology and Theories of Personality. Now these are both required for, say, Antioch, whereas the other one would be required for Central Washington University. Now, for Abnormal Psychology and Theories of Personality, you're going to want to have taken them within the past 10 years, otherwise they won't count towards your degree, as they feel that they are outdated at that point. So some type of extracurricular programs that you would want to take to end up securing you a slot in the graduate program would be something like a crisis center volunteer. Now, you'd want to do this as soon as possible, getting in contact with volunteer services at crisisclinic.org. They'll end up helping you get into the program. They'll train you, they'll give you a lot of volunteer hours, and this will give you a real-world application of mental health counseling. Now, you're not going to be an actual mental health counselor, more of a hotline situation, but it'll still end up helping you in the long run. One of the ways that it'll help you is some programs, such as Antioch, they require 100 hours of volunteer or professional work before you can even get into the master's program. Now, this would be a good volunteer work as opposed to, say, helping out at a homeless shelter, because it'll actually give you some hands-on experience in the mental health field. So some typical expectations that you would find when you're actually taking these courses would be there's a lot of group therapy settings with your cohort. Now your cohort is your peers, the people that you are taking your classes with, and they will generally follow you from class to class as it'll be very structured. They like to have everybody in the same group. What this does is not only give you some trust that you can confide in your fellow students, but it also helps you in your chosen field. Once you actually get out into the field, say you open a private practice, and a bunch of your students, your cohort, also open private practices. Say one of you specializes in chronic pain management, one of you specializes in sexual dysfunction, and one of you specializes in anxiety. You'd be able to help each other out by sending clients to the person who specializes in that area, and you'd be able to have them do the same for you. Not only would that help your business out, but it would also help your client get the best help that they can possibly get. There's also the supervised practicum that I mentioned. That is a great asset when you're taking your courses, because you end up actually getting practice on real people in real situations. So the typical load with these courses varies from quarter to quarter. It starts off very dense in the beginning and ends up tapering off to only 1 or 2 courses towards the end. In the first quarter, for instance, at Central Washington University, you take 5 to 6 classes, whereas at the end you're only taking 2 courses, your thesis and your internship. Now your internship is basically a full-time job, so it ends up taking up a lot of space, which is why they only have your internship and your thesis. So some things that you might want to know about pursuing this specialization is that after you're done with getting your master's degree, you won't actually be able to just jump into the job. You'll still have to get accredited and licensed as an LMHCA, a licensed mental health counselor associate. To do this, you're going to have to take your national counselor associate, your national counselor examination, or NCE. And then after you get that, you'll have to work towards becoming an LMHC, a licensed mental health counselor, by completing 3,000 hours of work in your chosen field. And after you take that, you'll do your National Clinical Mental Health Counselor's examination. Now, if the school that you attend is KCREP certified, the hours that are required drop from 3,000 to 2,500. And if you take any of the courses that I mentioned earlier, those are all KCREP certified. Now, KCREP is it's the overall certification required for any licensed mental health counselor. And KCREP stands for Council of Accreditation and Counseling and Related Educational Program. So if you end up taking those courses, you'll have a little bit of an easier load in becoming an LMHC. Now, while you're an LMHCA, you'll still be able to practice, you'll still be able to even have your own private practice, but you will have to be supervised during those 2,500 to 3,000 hours. It takes a lot of work, but in the end it's definitely worth it, and you'll end up not only enriching your life, but enriching the lives of your clients. And I hope this has been enlightening and educational. Have a nice day.